Time, 12:04 and 5 seconds a.m. Sifu goes down the stairs that access the garage via the now closed door. He practically glides down the stairs with barely a sound as one would expect of a kung fu master. There is a light switch for the garage on either side of the door to the stairs. Sifu flicks the inside switch on while simultaneously opening the door and stepping into the garage. Henry is caught by surprise with the light coming on, not to mention a man appearing a mere 3 meters away. Sifu hears the click as Henry cocks the hammer of his pistol back with his thumb. Henry has no idea who the man is, but he is one cool cucumber. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of Henry or his gun. Henry notices the man staring at his walther curiously. He's never heard of anyone with a gun pointed at them doing that. This person still has a hold of the door handle and quietly closes it behind him with slow, non-threatening, but somehow graceful movements. In the absence of anything better to say, Harry murmurs just above a whisper, "Good evening." "Good evening," comes the reply, as if the man is a host greeting a guest at a dinner party. "As you don't look the type to shoot and ask questions later, may I suggest I close the garage door? We don't want some sticky big neighbor calling the police, do we?" "Fair enough," responds Henry, who also judges it undesirable to have his weapon cocked when a light touch of the trigger will launch a bullet. Henry does a safety decock and eases the hammer forward. He can tell his surprised visitor appreciates the gesture. The trouble is, the open garage door is behind him. Henry has to step backwards around the car to let the stranger walk by him at a safe distance. In the microsecond Henry looks down to check his footing, his gun is gone from his grasp. The speed at which this is done was breathtaking. His adversary now points the weapon at him instead. It's never a good feeling to be threatened with your own gun. Not that being shot with it would hurt more. It's more the philosophical tragedy of it happening that way. Henry thinks what he imagined will be his last thought. This man is like Bruce Lee, only for real. "We should still close the door, and you're closest," whispers the holder of the pistol. Henry lowers the door, feeling like he is closing the lid on his own coffin. "Tell me, what sort of gun is this?" asks Sifu, confused by the question. Henry answers anyway. .25 Walther TPH. "I thought as much. And who are you?" inquires Sifu. "I'm the guy waiting in Peter's garage," comes the reply. "And you?" "I'm the guy holding at gunpoint the guy who's hiding in Peter's garage," responds Sifu, almost lightheartedly. "We're not getting anywhere in a hurry, are we?" points out Henry. "So, let's speed things up then. Will you shoot me if I give your gun back?" asks Sifu more seriously. "More than once, but only if you really make me," responds Henry truthfully. "Fair enough. At least you're honest. Will you trust me if I give you your gun back?" asks Sifu with no doubt as to the seriousness of his question or the answer to it. "Maybe, but positively more than I do now," responds Henry, maintaining his truthful demeanor. "But judging how fast you disarmed me, I'm guessing you can take it back any time you like anyway. There's a good reason for me to behave right there." "I can work with maybe," replies Sifu with a grin. "By the way, if you won't tell me your name, can I call you Henry?" Sifu reverses the firearm and hands the weapon back to Henry, who was more than slightly confounded by what just happened. "Thanks, Bruce. That's better than what I thought you were going to do to me," he says, noticing a flash of something in the other man's expression at the mention of that name. Henry doesn't want to risk aggravating him, so tries to continue their light mood. "Well, you look more like a Bruce than, say, a Clyde or a James. Just saying, it seems to work."